Hello guys, welcome to a Caliber Wings video with me, Noel. We are addressing one particular model that we have put out, a model that has attracted a lot of attention in terms of its legitimacy. Now, why do I say that? Because on July 17th, the Japanese license holder, Big West, who is the copyright holder, the license holder for Macross, is that they put up this announcement on their website. Their website is seen by, I would surmise, hundreds of thousands of fans and followers. So immediately, us being mentioned in the announcement raised certain flags. Now, this has in turn caused us much inconvenience, which is why, after thinking long and hard, I decided to put up this video, at least to clear the air, put out the facts, and you can make your own decision at the end of the day. I will be going through line by line on the notice that Big West had put up on the website, and then I'll address the points as we go along in this video. It's dated on 17th of July, and these are all the original Japanese texts that they have conveyed their message. But from a Google translation, we find that it's not a direct translation what they have written in English. So for example, this second bit here, all right, when you Google translate it, the English text is different from what is mentioned in the website. The English version of what they're trying to say was done intentionally. They knew the English version, and it wasn't any case of direct Japanese to English translation. So here we go. It says, please be informed that we, Big West Inc., have not anything to do with the goods described below, bootleg edition, announced in July 2020. And then Caliber Wings is mentioned, and the product name, which is CA72DC02, which we named the F-14 low visibility. So as a representative of the Macross Zero Production Committee and the right holder to original works of all Macross series, including Macross Zero, we, Big West Inc., would like all of the Macross fans to use cautions with the bootleg edition and the video announcement of the bootleg edition with unauthorized use of Macross Zero. We have never granted the distributor any permission to use Macross Zero, and none of the right holders and creators engaging in the production of Macross Zero have received any fair compensation. The distribution and announcement of the bootleg edition is undoubtedly an unjust, illegal act to obstruct the creation of our new work. We again ask for your cautions about the pirate version. Now, a few things here. How could the bootleg edition obstruct the creation of their new work? Okay. And the part about the mention that we have never granted any permission, and yet they are talking about none of the staff production committee has received any fair compensation, right? So on one hand, they are saying that they have not authorized, and yet they are complaining that they have not received any compensation. So again, this announcement, I would think, is basically for the fans. I guess it's there's a saying, by the fans, for the fans. So we'll get to this in a bit in the video as to why this is specifically for the fan. Perhaps it's by the fan. So first of all, we have to look at a few points. One, what is this all about? Number two, how did it come about? How did it happen? And perhaps number three, my personal take on it. So what happened was that on July 17, Big West made an announcement on the website, and they singled out Caliber Wings as a pirate producing a bootleg product that they have not authorized. Now, let me address that by first talking about what exactly, in my opinion, constitute a bootleg product. By the letter of the law, the legalese, there is a case that our product is bootleg and unauthorized. But I would say that this is a gray area because in our product, we have not advertised it on the packaging as anything to do with the property that Big West is claiming. Now take a few steps even back. How did we even arrive at this point for us to make this particular product? So I have to bring you guys back to when we first started Caliber Wings in 2016 when I produced the F-14 tooling. To give you a bit more context about me personally, I have been to Wonder Festival Japan for the first time in the year 2000. What really made me dream was that one day I would like to be at Wonder Festival to be a dealer selling, guess what? Licensed Macross items. So in 2016, when I had the F-14 die-cast model, that gave me the idea. That provided me the springboard to apply for a license at Wonder Festival of 2017 winter to sell my F-14s with Macross livery approved by Big West. And that's exactly what I did. 17 years later, I finally realized a dream. And I was able to have the Big West sticker pasted onto my product that I've made myself. And I've indeed made it myself because every single one of those models were hand painted by me. Again, I digress. So getting back. So how do I take this to the next level? Because being in the die-cast model business now, apart from just doing the military models, and because I am a Macross lover, a fan at heart, I've always wanted to produce the VF1 Valkyrie in the most definitive form. So this was my platform to produce the VF1 Valkyrie as a model. But of course, we need a license for that. Now, skipping back to the licensing part, the reason why this notice that's put up by Big West has caused us so much distress is because we have people coming left, right, and center saying that Caliber Wings is basically a company that does not license anything at all. Now, this cannot be further from the truth. I had personally been in licensing business since 2006. I had been to the Las Vegas licensing show more than 3 times. So for those who think that we are a company that has no regard for licensing, that is for you to carry on that imagination yourself. So coming back, for us to do this VF1 model, obviously we need a license. So the F-14 that I've done in Wonder Festival of 2017 was that first brick that I'm building towards. So immediately after the event, I had tasked my Japanese distributor and friend to help me to set up a meeting with Big West with our model to start negotiations on the license. With all due respect to the other license holder of this property outside of Japan, somehow or rather, fans of this genre have a higher regard for the Japanese version. And so that is why we started out the journey with the Japanese side first. I had even planned to apply for 2018's Wonder Festival with the continuation of the F-14 liveries, and finally to have the Macross Zero F-14 livery license for Wonder Festival after the winter event of 2018. But we could never have gotten there because as of 2018, after initially granting me the rights to make the said models, and I've even received the Wonder Festival dealer pass, just a month prior to the event, I was given a notice that Big West had rejected the license. Pretty strange, isn't it? Well, perhaps I can tell you why it is strange based on my extrapolation on the going-ons. Now we have to go back to 2017 after Wonder Festival and after my Japanese friend and distributor has conducted the meeting in Japan with Big West. Apparently, long story short, the license was not granted. At this point of time, I would like to also highlight my personal opinion that there is a deep sense of nepotism in Japan when we have business dealings. The likes of Bandai would surely get the license, Hasegawa, and you name it. We know that there is actually no way for a foreign entity or company to ever obtain the license directly from Big West, which is why I had my Japanese distributors company approach Big West for the license negotiation. We were prepared to not even call the products Caliber Wings, because the idea was not to self-promote, but to provide a product that I think is missing in the market space for the original Macross series. Since the negotiation to obtain the Big West license via a Japanese company was up in smoke, I had to act on the next available option. And the next available option was to license with Harmony Gold in the USA. So again, we started with the F-14 as the low-hanging fruit. So in July of 2017, I had personally gone to San Diego Comic-Con to pay the folks at Harmony Gold a visit and to establish the working relationship with them to produce our models. F-14 first, VF-1 to follow. And that's what we did. And the license with Harmony Gold was done. But along the way, I was still actively searching for some hope that perhaps we can still get the license from Big West. I was always pressing my Japanese friend distributor to, have they changed their mind? Is there any chance to do it? But at the end of the day, it seems like it's a clear no. So with that being the case, that there was clearly no chance for us to produce anything with Japan, then I took it upon myself to release the Macross Zero F-14 model, but without mentioning all the above. In the collectibles market, there are various examples of collectibles that belongs to certain copyright, but they have not been licensed properly and they are selling as per normal in the marketplace. The goal of producing this model, it was something a fan wanted to do for the fans. And we're here today and we're making this video because everything that was planned didn't materialize except the model itself. I am telling you right now that our model is not licensed by Big West. That is the undeniable truth. And it might get me in hot waters, legal-wise. But as of this recording, contrary to many people's and fans' hearsay, we had not gotten into any legal trouble at all. I had not received any ceased and desist letter, and there is no ongoing lawsuits that I am handling in regards to the matter. Well, I'm not too sure if that will change after this video is aired. I would like to make a special mention on how I think, by deduction, how the whole matter blew up. There are a variety of unlicensed Macross items in the market. But why did Big West choose to single us out among the sea of products that could also be singled out for the same reason if we are to be singled out? Well, based on my investigations, I conclude that there were two individuals. Again, I'm not saying I'm 100% sure, but I'm 99% sure that it is the effort of two particular people who has blown the matter out of proportion. I would like to give special mention to these two people right now. So one of them is based in Japan, from the best of my knowledge. His name is Gwen Campbell, and he works for Sega. I actually met Gwen at Wonder Festival in 2017, and we exchanged emails. He even posted on his Twitter account the pictures of our F-14s, commenting on how beautiful the models they were. Gwen Campbell met me at Wonder Festival in 2017, to be exact, 2017's Winter Wonder Festival, and when he saw the products, he was amazed by it. I remember his words were, "That's quite a heft," meaning that the die-cast content was substantial. The other person in this whole thing is Adrian Lozano, or Adrian Lozano. I'm not too sure, so apologies if I've not pronounced your name correctly. So Adrian, I've not met this person, but apparently Adrian might also be stationed in Japan, because in Wonder Festival Winter 2018, Adrian made a special attempt to go to the Wonder Festival, to go to my table, which was empty, to take a picture of my empty table and post it on Facebook to make a point. I believe the point was, hey, where are you guys? Do you see what I'm saying here? Do you follow the trend? So both Adrian Lozano and Gwen Campbell works for Big West by helping Big West to translate their animation into English subtitles, from what I understand. So for some reason, I believe these two characters felt that they had an obligation to call out Caliber Wings and myself and report the Macross Zero's project to Big West. Hence, Big West made the announcement on their website on July 17th about our model. Yes, we did take down all pictures associated with the model when the announcement was made on Big West's website. Of course, for fear that we might be implicated in something serious. Because again, Big West have never singled out anyone before for Macross items that are not officially authorized. And having built Caliber Wings from scratch, of course, I was not going to allow something small and trivial like that to be causing detrimental effects to our development and growth. But now looking back, there seems to be no need for us to take such drastic actions. And on the point when I posted on Facebook about proud to be a pirate, that is made specifically addressed to the announcement by Big West where they called us out to be pirate. So since we are extremely proud of our work on this model, hence we are proud to be pirate in this sense. In regards to the negative effects that Big West's announcement on the website has, most of it was hate towards us on Twitter by Japanese. I have captured all the screenshots of all these Twitter comments. I have deleted them and I've blocked the individuals who had posted them. And at no point in time when I tweeted a response was it in any way disrespectful or vulgar or rude. I had always interacted with these comments with like, thank you, we understand, etc. But those comments were calling for us to close our business, calling for us to issue a public apology. And in particular, there was this well-known aviation journalist who doesn't know me and I don't know him, but he was posting on Twitter about issuing contact with Grumman and Lockheed to revoke our licenses. Now, how silly is that? As I try to make something for the collectors and I get a backlash such as this, it makes me think twice, 3 times about what exactly am I doing this for. Again, as I've said, this model is not a lucrative project. I don't stand to be financially enriched by selling 1,000 pieces of this model. I do so because we believe we have a nice product. We believe there is collectors who want the product. There is no such product out in the market. We have done the steps to acquire rights to make the product but was rejected, and hence we went another way, because there is a difference when we can package the model with Big West, Macross Zero logo, etc., and we could even sell maybe more than 1,000 pieces. But we made it as a third-party item under our Dreamcats series. There was no mention of anything related to Macross Zero on our packaging, and it was passed off as a low visibility model. Of course, yes, it's supposed to be Macross Zero. So since we were not able to sell the model in official channels, we had to rely on collectors forums to promote the model. So this is in the form of Facebook groups. So there are plenty of Macross Facebook groups that we place the model on to promote it. But every single Macross group rejected our model because of Big West's announcement, and I was banned from some of these groups. So after the ban, and seeing that there's actually no meaning for me to carry on in these groups, because even the people who set up the groups, the fans, are not in supportive of this particular model. Sure, as I've said, not many Macross fans are model lovers. They like the animation, they buy the transforming toys. They may build a few models from Hasegawa, Wave, the Garage Kits, but a completed die-cast model is something you don't find every other day. So the audience was very small. And since there was so much hate, I had withdrawn myself from all these Macross groups. Again, this is not about me as much as I'm talking about it, but to give you a context of what has transpired and how something that I've loved from young till now is actually causing me a lot of unhappiness and basically making me having a repugnant effect towards Macross. I've explained myself in this video. For those of you who are watching this video, you're either a Macross fan, hardcore Big West supporter, or a Caliber supporter who wants to know what's going on. I've laid out exactly what has transpired. I've explained the origins of how we arrived at this point. I've explained my assessment of how it had gotten this bad when it shouldn't have. And I guess it's just unlucky on my part. In conclusion, Caliber Wings does not have no regard for licensing and copyright. We have always done our best to pursue the right channels. If the right channels do not pave the way for us to develop properly, then we always have to find another alternative or to just abandon the idea. I'm gonna insert this into the video now because I forgot to mention about it. Back in the day, in school, you will ask your teacher for some advice. If I were to ask my teacher, the headmaster for advice, surely the answer would be, do not make this video because it is incriminating evidence. But I am very much a maverick myself, and I wear my heart on my sleeves. It is evident in the products that I produce, and although our products are not perfect and we have never claimed them to be, we always endeavor to make them the best that we can and always to improve on our mistakes, lessons learned, so that the next model would always be better. The decision to release the Macross Zero model is mine because I assessed what was in front of me, and based on what I saw, I felt it was okay for us to do it under the Dreamcats label. Had it not been for the two fellas, or maybe even more, there's a group of them who are basically trolling Caliber Wings. So had it not been for them, everything would have been just right. There would not have been a Big West announcement, and there would not have been the need for this video. So thank you for watching. I believe I've laid out the timelines and the facts of what happened, and you can decide for yourself and come up with your own conclusion.